Hi everyone, how are you doing? The video today is about sugar in your blood, what we normally refer to as diabetes or type 2 diabetes. It's only going to be about type 2 diabetes. I'm not addressing type 1 diabetes, which is congenital or diabetes since birth, where the pancreas don't produce enough insulin. And I'm shooting this video while I'm walking, so my voice may not be all that stable. So please bear with it and just enjoy the video. A lot of people who have high sugar in the blood, I've seen them avoid eating sugary food. So they'll say, okay, we're not having anything sweet, no sugary treat. But what they fail to do is that they don't cut on carbohydrate, food which is high on carbohydrate. So what happens is that when we eat any food, that would have basically three main ingredients which are digested by our system. And the other stuff is not digested, it just passes the way. Like salt will just not get digested, salt will just pass, vitamins will just pass through a system or get absorbed, but they will not be digested. So we digest fat, we digest carbs, and we digest protein. There are three things we digest. Carbs are broken up into sugar, and some of them are stored as fat. Fat is broken up into fatty acids, and proteins is broken up into amino acids. And then it gets absorbed into your body and does various functions. But carbs are converted, they start getting converted into sugar right from our mouth. In our saliva we have an enzyme known as ptyalin or tylase, and that starts converting carbohydrate into sugar. Whatever doesn't get converted passes through your stomach, and when it hits the pancreatic juices, so there is this enzyme which the pancreas secrete, which is known as amylase, that converts the rest of the carbs into sugar. Now what people do is, when they have high blood sugar, they cut on sugary food, but they don't cut on carbs. I've seen a lot of people who will not touch sugar, who will have only sugar-free tea or sugar-free coffee, but they'll have 5 chapatis for lunch. They'll have a plate full of rice, or they'll have 2 bowls full of dal. Well, there's a lot of carbs in dal and rice and wheat and any grain, and all of that is getting converted into sugar in your body. So what are you doing, guys? Now just look at this chart. If you look at how much carbs is there in sugar, 100%, all of it. How much carbs is there in dal? How much carbs is there in wheat? How much carbs is there in rice? Right? And how much carbs is there in mango or apple? So, or any vegetable for that matter. So the amount of carbs that we have in vegetables is far, far less compared to the amount of carbs we have in grains. That's the reason it's much more healthier to have fruits and vegetables rather than grains or sugar when you have any kind of diabetes. Because what is the mechanism of insulin, how it works? So what happens is that once you get sugar in your blood through whatever food you've eaten, so our pancreas secrete insulin, and this insulin is the key which the cells in the body use to absorb that sugar. So once the key reaches the cells of the body, wherever the blood is going, so the cells will open up and they'll absorb the sugar for their own consumption. Now whatever is surplus sugar, which the cells don't need, stays in the blood. When it stays in the blood, that is when your blood sugar goes high. Right? So there are two reasons for that. If your pancreas are not making enough insulin, or you're eating too much sugar, and your pancreas is not able to cope up. So most of the people have type 2 diabetes, and it's essentially because your consumption of sugar and carbs is very high. You only have to reduce or cut or eliminate carb intake into your diet. That's all you need to do, and you see how your insulin requirement will like simply vanish, and you will be not taking those injections anymore. Please take a doctor's advice. Don't stop taking any insulin all by yourself. You measure your blood sugar level and then you monitor accordingly. Don't follow this advice as a medical advice. This is something that I've used on myself, and I'm just sharing my experience with you. So cutting carb intake will cut the blood sugar, and you may even have hypoglycemia. So just be careful how much you cut. You should not eliminate it altogether. But if you have fruits, even the sweetest of fruits like mango or any other fruit, it does not have enough carbs to give you a glycemic high high blood sugar. So what is the importance of working out? So as you all know that we need sugar as energy for working out, whether it's walking, running, or any kind of workout. So when we do any kind of workout, we burn sugar. That means that the demand of our cells goes up. The amount of sugar that our cells demand goes up. So more and more sugar can be absorbed by the cells, and the amount of sugar that remains in the blood will go down. So that is the reason that they advocate that any kind of workout, any kind of exercise, and if you can't do anything else, walk for at least 30 minutes in a day, or whatever amount of minutes you can walk, at least 30 minutes. So if you do that as a diabetes patient, you will automatically see the sugar levels fall to healthy levels. From a healer perspective, they tell us that the various cravings that we have, which are not healthy for our body, are not cravings of our body cells, but they're cravings of our parasites. For example, if I have a body cell, let's say a liver cell, or skin cell, or muscle cell in my body, that will always work for the betterment of my body. It will not work against my body. But if I have a parasite in my body, for example, it could be a fungus, it could be any bacteria, it could be candida, it could be anything. The main interest of the parasite is not to keep my body healthy. The main interest of the parasite is to suck every bit of energy from my body. So most of the cravings that I have of unhealthy things is the cravings of these cells which are parasites in my body. They say that sugar cravings are cravings of fungus like candida or anything. Similarly, other kind of parasites crave different things. Now our body is a colony of cells. So we have trillions and trillions of cells. And the aggregate demand of all these cells, including our parasites, is the craving that we have, a particular craving that we have for a particular kind of food. Like I just said, if you have craving for sugar, that's not your body's craving, because your body will never crave sugar, unhealthy amount of sugar. It only crave a healthy amount of sugar. But if you have unhealthy craving for sugar, you probably have fungus in your body. Then what you could do is, you could also do something known as a master cleanse. It's a 15-day fasting. If you can't do 15 days, do 10 days, do 5 days, do 7 days, whatever you possibly can. So what they do is, they make you basically starve. You live on only lemonade for as long as you can. I'll leave a link in the description. What they basically do is, they ease you into a lemonade only diet for at least 7 days or 10 days, and you ease out. And because you starved your body of all kinds of sugar for these many number of days, so any parasite in the body naturally dies off or leaves your body. And after that, if you maintain your regular healthy diet, you will never have cravings of those food again, which is not healthy for your body, because you've gotten rid of the parasites, most of it. And if you think that the job is not fully done, you can extend the number of days that you're doing for this master cleanse. You can repeat it, but normally it's not advised to do this in winter months, because your calorific demand in winter months is very high. But this diet is not a diet for losing weight. This diet is a diet for losing parasites. So I hope this helps you guys. You have a good day. Bye bye.